Hi everybody, welcome back to the Mom's View. I'm Colette, this is Kaylee, and this is Carly, and it's a happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Yes, today I just wanted to talk about a few different quotes by a man by the name of Bob Proctor. He's like a well-known self-help guru. I don't know what he's called, but he has so many quotes that I'm like, yeah, oh yeah, that one's good too. So the first one that came to my mind was repetition creates mastery. And I was thinking about that principle about how, you know, if we do something over and over and over again, it becomes a habit.
Yeah.
And that can go both ways. Like, what are some things that you guys feel like you are
bad habits?
Anything. Good habits or bad habits?
Telling myself I'm going to work out. I'm very repetitive.
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Every night I'm like so motivated.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's the
Why
day.
is it so motivating right before, like, when you're in bed?
I know,
Like,
but I'm super pumped about it every night.
I wish I could wake up with that same feeling. I'm like,
I know.
yes.
Yes.
I think like a good habit that I want to start that I don't do is making sure my kitchen is clean every single night before I go to bed. And I think that will become a habit if I just did it, because then you just do it without
so good to wake up to
without
that.
realizing it.
I know. That one's really hard for me because it can get so late and I'm like, I still have so much to do.
know.
Like, I just need to go to bed.
Right.
But I do get that.
I think it's hard because I make Braylee do the dishes. That's her job. Like, and I'm very like, this is your job. This is your responsibility. So if we do get home late and she didn't do them, then I'm like, I'm not going to do the dishes for her.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you should have.
So then that's hard.
Yeah.
So
You can
Which
just
is
clean the
nice.
rest of it and keep
Yeah.
the dishes in a
Right.
pile. They're yours for tomorrow.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that's okay. How about you? Did you already say?
I think it's the working out thing. It's different though. I feel like with the past, I can say 2 years in a lump sum. The pregnancies. Who does that?
Your face. What?
I'm just like ready to feel good again, you know?
Yeah.
This one has been hard. I'm so grateful. I'm not saying anything I'm not.
Repetition creates mastery. You're going to be the best baby maker in the world.
yeah. Do it again.
Keep doing it.
But, well, you know. I don't know. I think that something I've really wanted to get better at is scheduling and having dinner with my family. Like just sitting down and being present and eating together is super important.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
I love that feeling.
Yeah. And I don't want you guys to make this like, oh crap, what am I not doing that I need to start doing? I just like it because it's something that can make you think. Like, no matter what it is, if you do it over and over again, it becomes a habit. You know, I have little habits that I want to change, and I have other things that I'm like, you know what, I'm doing pretty good at that. You know, I finally am at a point where like I can wake up early to meditate. I don't always do great at it. Like sometimes I go in my meditation space and I wake up 20 minutes later on the floor thinking, well, I tried.
That's just a really good meditation session.
I really tried. Yeah.
You just really got into it.
I
That
really
session.
got into that session.
You know what is something that I just heard last night on a podcast was to always wake up the first time your alarm goes off, to never push snooze.
Oh.
And that would be a great habit for me to
I
break.
purposely set my
push
alarm
it
at weird
19
times so I can.
I know I do too.
I'll set my alarm for like 6:41.
Yeah.
Jackson's like, why not 6:40? I'm like, it's just like one more minute of sleep, and then if I hit snooze, then I know. Like, he's like, just stop.
I know. But this person said like it's made such a change in their life. They feel so much better when their alarm goes off and they just get out of
Yep,
bed.
that's when you wake up. Even though I know you didn't want it to be like us to focus on the negative, it's such an important thing though, like how easy habits are created, bad and good. You
Right.
know?
Yeah, just
Good point.
doing something over and over again. And sometimes like we were talking about motivation a couple times or last time, and I thought, you know, sometimes motivation isn't there, but if you have the discipline, then it starts to create motivation. Like you kind of get the ball rolling by forcing yourself or
Going through the motions.
that even may like, oh, I really do not want to do this right now, but I know it will be good for me, so I'm going to do it.
Right.
As you continue to do that, I feel like that helps spark motivation because you start to see results of the thing that you're doing that you want to accomplish.
I was going to say, even like hearing that quote, I think is motivating because it's like, you know what, I can create good habits.
Yeah.
You know, so to hear something like that, it's like, I can do this. I'm going to. Watch me. I'm going to do it tomorrow. Just kidding.
Tomorrow, right when I wake up.
Yep, I love it. All right, here's another one of my favorites. It says, "You are the only problem you will ever have, and you are the only solution. Change is inevitable. Personal growth is always a personal decision."
Good.
Isn't that good?
Yeah.
Because it's true. Like, we're always our own best helper or worst enemy.
Sometimes I purposely won't vent to Jackson because he points out the obvious, and I'm like, I just want to be negative and venty right now. You know? And
Don't
I'm
try
like-
to fix me.
I'm like, I can't even vent to him because he's so good at making things into a positive thing, and it's like, you're your own problem. You're making this so much worse. Like, so. But sometimes you just need it's Brene Brown always calls it the shitty first draft. Like, you have to sometimes get that bad energy out of there so that you can get out of your own way and be positive and like fix and move through the problem.
Yeah.
That's a good way of looking at it.
Yeah.
It's hard to think like, oh, I am the problem, but it's good
Yeah.
because then you're like, I'm also the solution.
Yeah.
Right.
And you have to realize that you are the problem before you realize that you're also the solution.
Yes.
That's hard.
Sometimes
It's really powerful, though.
It is really
it's hard. I think it's hard to have ownership of, because that's like the most vulnerable form is knowing you're wrong and that you can fix it. I think people really struggle with that. Like, I know I do.
Oh. You just
Especially-
want to put it somewhere else. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Displace
It's
it.
just so much-
It's not my fault. It's your fault.
Yeah.
Then you don't have to deal with it. You know, it's just like,
Yeah.
it's your fault. I'm not working out.
Totally my fault.
Colette. We just text each other. Colette's working out again. It's her fault we're not there.
It's her fault.
She didn't share her motivation pills this morning. This is me
She didn't
texting.
get me out of bed.
She didn't show up to my house and drag me out of bed. Rude.
It's true, it's my fault. I love that though, because it truly is like super powerful. If you can like look at yourself honestly, and that's really hard. I'm actually recently working on the 12 steps like of AA, but in a different way. And it's so powerful because you really can't change until you're able to look at yourself honestly.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's hard because when we start to look at ourselves honestly, we're so afraid of the shame that we're going to feel. Being able to look at ourselves and be like, oh, wow, I am a POS sometimes. You know?
Right.
But when you can honestly see that, then you can decide to change it. But
Yeah.
when you're not willing to look at that, then you just continue doing it.
I think that's the best form of being your best self is recognizing your own faults and owning them. Because how can real growth and change come from within you if you don't know your own weaknesses and owning the things that you need to change and fix and grow from?
And it can be difficult because a lot of times when we start to go down that road, it becomes self-loathing and shaming and just a negative, depressing place. But that's when we have to give ourselves love because we're human and it's okay.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what we've done, it's okay.
It's also empowering because it's like, it reminds me of the movie 8 Mile when Eminem, it's real life changing stuff here. When Eminem gets on stage and that, like, the rap battle is basically like, you say bad things about me and I say bad things about you, and that's like what the other rapper's move was against Eminem. But he gets up and says all the things that he thinks that his opponent could say. He's like, yeah, I grew up with my mom, we live in a trailer park, I'm poor, I'm a white, da-da-da. And the guy gets up to rap against him and has nothing bad to say because Eminem's like, I know who I am and I'm owning this. And I'm like, that's actually very empowering.
Right.
As scary as it may feel, it's actually a very empowering feeling. You know?
I also think when you get on the other side of that, when you get through all the hard things and you climb your way out of that hole, you have so much more compassion for yourself and for other people.
It's true.
Amen.
Super awesome.
Change the world one mob zoo at a time right here.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have a rap battle. Who's on stage
Totally.
first?
She's
That's
starting.
so funny. At first I was like, where are you going with that? And then it was so good.
Go watch
It
Eminem
was
tonight.
so good, right?
That's funny.
Okay, the next one is thoughts become things. If you see it in your mind, you will hold it in your hand.
Oh, that could go both ways, good and bad.
Yeah, I love this one because it really is just, I don't know, it makes you realize the power of your thoughts. Like, they really, really are super powerful, and sometimes you don't realize it until you're, thinking so negatively that you go somewhere bad in your mind. But I think if we can realize that our thoughts have so much to do with who we are, like, one of the tools that I've tried to implement is I'm like, breathe, I gotta breathe. I wrote down a whole list of things I wanted to be. things that I wanted to become, or qualities that I wanted to possess, and you write them down, and then you recite them every morning as if you already possess them. Like you pretend like you are already at this level of success, or you pretend like you already are this patient with your kids, or whatever the whatever it is. It helps you get in that mind frame, and as you create that in your mind, you'll create it in your life.
Yeah.
It's powerful, guys. It's like
Do
magic.
that.
I think too many people are willing to get uncomfortable with themselves, and I think part of that process is you have these hopes and these dreams and things you want to become, but in order to do that, you have to let go of the excuses and the whys and the poor me's, and break out of that mindset into this mindset of abundance and freedom to choose for your life. I think too many people are stuck in this mindset where, well, I didn't come from money, or I am not around successful people, or whatever the excuses may be. You have to break away from that. And I think that coaching some of my team, I have on my Senegence team, we really talk a lot about like self-development, and they talk so much about how our thoughts become our actions, and our actions become our deeds, and our deeds become our like surroundings in our life. And the number one thing that I always hear are excuses. People don't want to break away from that because it's almost like a comfort barrier. And people are almost afraid to become successful in a way. Like they stop themselves because they can't envision that for themselves, because they're so used to hanging on to these excuses. It's like, no, you do deserve better, and you can have these things, but you have to get uncomfortable with yourself and vulnerable and let go of all these things that you're holding yourself back from.
Very true.
It's hard though.
Very true. Okay, this is one of my favorites. It says, faith and fear both demand that you believe in something you cannot see. You choose. Like, that's so true. Yeah. Like, fear is all these things that are what if, what if, what if, what if. It's not real.
Why do I always do that in bed at night when it's dark? What if somebody broke in right now and I...
But faith also requires the same type of belief. Like, people think that fear, or that they don't believe in something, but you actually are believing in something, but it's just different.
Such a good point.
These are good. I'm gonna look all up of all.
I'm gonna get tattoos of all these things.
All of his quotes up. That's what I was gonna say.
Yep, pin them all to the mirror and be like, okay, that and that and that. I can do it.
Yeah, thanks for sharing those.
Yes, I love
Anyways,
them.
just wanted to give you guys a little bit of positivity for the beginning of your week, and I hope that you guys can implement some of these in your own life, and let us know in the comments below what you think and any other good quotes that you have, and we'll see you next time. Bye.